Imagine sitting on a plane at 35,000 feet above the earth. Passengers are relaxed, some are sleeping, some are watching movies. Flight attendants move through the aisles as everything appears perfectly normal. And then, silence. No distress signal, no emergency call, no warning. A plane carrying hundreds of people simply disappears into the darkness. And for years, the world would search for answers. This is not fiction. This is one of the greatest aviation mysteries in human history. The story of Flight MH370.
March 8th, 2014. Night covered the runways of Kuala Lumpur International Airport in Malaysia. A massive Boeing 777 sat waiting under airport lights. On board were 239 people. Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah, co-pilot Fariq Abdul Hamid, 10 crew members, and 227 passengers, all with different destinations, different dreams, and different stories. Some were returning home. Some were beginning new journeys. None of them knew they were about to become part of a mystery that would haunt the world. The destination was Beijing, China. The weather was calm. No storms, no danger. Everything looked normal. At 12:41 a.m., Flight MH370 lifted into the night sky. No one suspected anything unusual.
About an hour later, the aircraft reached cruising altitude over the South China Sea. Then came what should have been an ordinary communication. The captain acknowledged air traffic control. Everything sounded calm. Everything sounded routine. And then came the final words. Good night. Seconds later, the aircraft vanished from civilian radar. Air traffic controllers stared at their screens. Confusion spread. At first, they assumed a technical problem. Perhaps the transponder had failed. Perhaps communication systems had malfunctioned. They tried calling again. No response. Again, nothing. Minutes turned into hours, but the plane never arrived in Beijing. Panic started spreading across the aviation world. Flight MH370 had disappeared.
Soon, the largest search operation in aviation history began. Search teams focused on the South China Sea, expecting wreckage. But there was nothing. No debris, no oil slick, no emergency signals, nothing. Then investigators discovered something shocking. Military radar had secretly recorded the aircraft, and what they saw made no sense. Instead of continuing toward Beijing, the plane had turned around, a sharp turn, then another. Flight MH370 had crossed back over Malaysia itself. It passed near Penang Island, then continued into darkness toward the Andaman Sea. Who changed the course, and why? Even stranger, although communications had disappeared, satellite systems continued receiving automated electronic handshakes from the aircraft. For 6 more hours, the plane kept flying, like a ghost drifting across the sky.
Scientists began analyzing every tiny clue. Signal delays, radio waves, the Doppler effect. Piece by piece, they built a possible path. Their calculations pointed toward a terrifying destination: the southern Indian Ocean, one of the most isolated places on Earth, a place of violent waves, extreme weather, and endless darkness. The search zone covered millions of square kilometers. Ships crossed rough oceans. Aircraft scanned the waters. Underwater devices searched the depths. But the ocean gave nothing back. It was as if the aircraft had simply vanished from existence. More than a year later,
Finally, a clue emerged. A large aircraft wing fragment washed onto a remote beach on Reunion Island. Investigators confirmed it belonged to MH370. Later, additional pieces appeared on distant shores. Small fragments, tiny whispers from the ocean. But they answered nothing. They only created more questions. How did the plane crash? What happened inside the cockpit? Who or what changed its course?
The world searched for explanations. Was there a fire caused by cargo batteries? Did cabin pressure suddenly fail, leaving everyone unconscious while the plane continued flying on autopilot? Was it a hijacking? Or was there something more disturbing? Investigators found flight simulator data at Captain Zahari's home. Some believed he intentionally changed the route. Others strongly disagreed. No evidence proved motive. No evidence proved intent. Only endless debate and endless mystery. Years have passed. Search missions have ended. Experts continue investigating. But somewhere beneath the vast Indian Ocean, the final truth may still be waiting, hidden in darkness. Because even today, the greatest question remains unanswered. What really happened to Flight MH370? And perhaps the most chilling thought of all? Will we ever know?
The hijacking theory. 2 passengers on board were found to be traveling on stolen passports. Investigators questioned them but found no terrorist links. They were simply undocumented immigrants trying to flee Malaysia. If it was a hijacking, the plane would typically be landed somewhere, not flown into oblivion. The Captain Zahari Ahmed Shah theory. In 2016, a leaked Malaysian police report revealed that a home flight simulator was found at Captain Zahari's house. One of the simulated flight paths tracked into the southern Indian Ocean. Some speculated he committed mass suicide/homicide, potentially turning toward Penang Island just to see his birthplace one last time. However, the coordinates were not a 100% match, and the captain was financially stable, highly experienced, over 18,000 flight hours, and mentally sound, making the rogue pilot theory highly debatable.
The co-pilot Fariq Abdul Hamid theory. As the plane flew back over Malaysia, the co-pilot's cell phone briefly connected to a local cell tower. Some believe he knew the plane's fate and tried to call his family. However, it is equally possible that the phone simply connected automatically when it picked up a signal from the ground. Alternative route theories. In 2018, a French independent research team reanalyzed the data and suggested the plane might have flown toward Christmas Island, closer to Australia. A search was conducted there, but like before, nothing was found.
Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe this channel for next episode.